Welcome back to the Blue Wave Talk Show with your host, Duane Bluestein, Miss
Shelley Marie,
and Miss Isha Cogborn.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. So glad to be on here. You know, I've been watching you all since episode 1.
What?
Yes.
Love it.
So I'm finally special enough to be able to have a seat at the grown-ups table.
We put you in
made
the
the
house.
I made the cut.
She made the cut, you guys. She should have made the cut a long time ago. She's amazing, and she's gonna tell you all about herself.
Hold on, huh?
This, that little scoop.
She was,
What, you
she
like
was
that
making the
bounce?
cut.
What?
The hair bounce
You
was.
like that?
What's up? Okay, so Isha, welcome. We're so
you.
happy that you're here. Please tell America who you are and why you here on the Blue Wave Talk Show with your host, Shelley Marie, because she likes telling her name. But go ahead.
Well, the reason I'm here is because we've recently launched a new business. My company, Epiphany Institute, has been around for about 4.5 years. We've recently merged with Love Notes Media Group, which has been around for about 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And we formed Entrepid Inc. And we're really helping people to grow into their purposes in business. And I'm excited about it. And there are a lot of people out here with dreams and who have been patching stuff together and struggling, trying to succeed in business, and they aren't getting any further. And we're plugging that hole.
So you're basically like the Olivia Pope of new startup businesses.
I like
You're
that.
just fixing.
We're the
everybody's
fixers.
stuff.
We're the entrepreneurial fixers. I think
I
I'm
love
going to
it.
use that. I give you
I
credit for it.
like that.
Yes.
That's pretty hot.
That is.
An entrepreneurial fixer.
That's what you do, though.
It is. It
Seriously.
really is. I love
Well, hold on. So, are you saying that I was broken? Because I came to you and
Everybody's
said,
broken.
I came to you and said, okay, I got all this. Okay, here.
Can I just say this really quick? Yes, I think we're all broken. As entrepreneurs or just people that are just doing a startup company, whatever you want to call yourself, okay? We're all broken and or we need assistance. And if you come to someone and say, hey, here's all my pieces to this puzzle, I don't even know what it is, this is her. This is who you bring it to. So she can say, oh, this is the United States of America. This goes here, boom.
Yeah. And Shelley, you said it in the last segment. There are so many people that, this is your lane. Your lane is marketing and sales. Now you can do a whole lot of other things. And as entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, we've learned to be the accountant and the marketer and the shoe cobbler and the lawyer and all those things. But when you get to the point that it's like, okay, I'm tired of limping along and I really want to be successful and really grow, you've got to find people that can be in those lanes and help you get where you want to be. You can only skate limping for so long.
Right.
You got to fix
It's
it.
not cute, y'all.
It's not. You can't take over the world trying to wear all the hats. It doesn't work.
So do you think people find an issue with identifying the weak areas or giving up that kind of power, if you will?
They do. And I will even say this. Me and my business partner are both young, both female, both brown. And sometimes there are people who say, well, what do you know? I'm looking at you and you look this age. What do you know? And I'm just going to brag on my business partner for a minute because she is Michaela Love. She will not tell you this, but she is a lightweight genius, like for real, like needs to be in Mensa. And she's a business analyst. She's a marketing strategist. And the stuff that rattles through this woman's mind, I've been working with her as long as I have, and it amazes me.
Wow.
It absolutely amazes me. So when you get to the point where you can get over ego and admit, I don't know all the answers, and Duane, I'll give you props for that because you walked in and said, look, I don't know. I know this,
hold on.
but help me with, not that you don't know, but here's what needs to be fixed.
Yes.
And that is what gets people to the next level. If you look at the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, they're not expected to know everything.
Right.
You get a team that is beyond competent in the roles that they
You have
play.
to be smart enough to hire somebody that's smart in that area.
But if you can't admit that you don't know something, you will sit right there not knowing and struggling
And be
and
frustrated.
broke.
Yeah, and one of the things that I learned was to understand that, okay, I've maximized who I am and as far as I could take it. And when I came to you, I was like, okay, these are all the pieces. And I really want to keep this thing moving forward, but I also want to understand how I can maximize my team and the people around me and be able to relinquish some of the responsibilities that I'm trying to hold on to. Because one of the biggest problems with an entrepreneur is they don't want to give away their baby because it's so important to them,
Right. Mm-hmm.
but they also need to understand that they have family and friends around them for a reason because they believe in their passion and they want to help them out. So that's one of the baby steps that working with you now is saying, okay, Duane, relinquish this, allow this to mature. Relinquish this, allow this to mature while you're still growing your brand and understanding where you're trying to go.
On the last question you asked me was how important is communication, and that plays into that role. So I'm going to ask you the same question you asked me. How much is communication a key?
It is absolutely critical. Absolutely critical, because to be able to even define a problem, you can't fix a problem if you can't define it.
Right.
And so many people who have hit a wall in their businesses, they don't know why. It's like one minute I was making a lot of money and the next minute I'm making nothing and I don't know why. And so you're trying to fix things, and you may be what you think is communicating with your team, but you haven't even defined the problem correctly. Mm-hmm. So how can they help you fix it if, as you said, you're not working from the same playing field?
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the things that I really wanted to talk about is how do you connect people that are entrepreneurs and they have a great plan, but they really don't know who to go to? How do they know who to go to? How do they know what is their missing element, that missing link? What is it there that they need to understand to be able to say, okay, this is where I need to go? Because communication, as you said again, the way that we communicate is entirely different, especially for a male. I mean, one of the biggest problems that we have is we have an ego that we go like this: oh, I can figure this out because there's no possible way that she should be able to know more than me. I understand she has a degree, we have a degree.
It's that whole, I don't want to read the directions, I'm just going to have all these extra pieces laying around.
Right. And that's one of our biggest faults is we have all these extra pieces laying around, but you give it to who? Who is it? Is it the person that's older, wiser, smarter, or is it younger, more savvy? Because there are some young entrepreneurs, as these ladies right here are phenomenal entrepreneurs, younger, and get it. But the stubbornness of some of us kind of pigeonholed you guys because we don't give you guys the opportunity to be able to shine. So what is the missing link, and how can we identify those problems?
Well, I think it comes down to first knowing, and we talked about this before, know what your lane is, know what you're good at. So whatever type of business you're running, Shelley, in the kitchen, you are magnificent. But should I expect you to be a great accountant as well?
No.
Okay. So then you know that's a deficit in the business. Okay, so let me go find a magnificent accountant, somebody who's as good with accounting, as passionate about accounting as you are about cooking. And so that's the thing I'm always looking for. I'm looking for somebody who knows what they're doing in that lane and they're passionate about it. I hate numbers. I'm not a statistician. My business partner, she literally dreams numbers. And so for me, but I love people. She would rather play with the numbers. I love people. I love connecting with the people. And part of what we do at Entrepid Inc. too is also the life support. We have a program called Startup Life Support, because entrepreneurship is hard.
It is.
Mm-hmm. It is hard, and there will be days where you want to quit. There will be days where things won't be going right, no matter how hard you work. And so to be able to have people around you that get it, who can talk you off the ledge, make you realize that what you're in right now is not going to stay, but to be able to push through it. One of the reasons that we named the business Entrepid Inc. is because the word intrepid means fortitude and fearlessness and endurance, and that's what it takes really to succeed in business. We want stuff to happen tomorrow. Oh, I have an idea, I ought to be a millionaire next week. It doesn't work that way. Right. And you're going to run into challenges, you're going to run into struggles, but are you going to be able to endure past them?
It's definitely a questioning of faith and in character, really. You know, when I'm hearing you speak right now, immediately I go to faith. I go to faith in my business, with my family, with God, and it's just weird because y'all know how crazy I can be sometimes. But when you said that, I'm like, that's a true testament to life, is the endurance, the tenacity, those things that you have to do. But you know, one of the questions I'm just curious about is, like, you have people, everybody's opening a business. Thank you, people. Thank you, Shelley and Duane, everybody. Anyways, I'm just curious because I know a lot of people are givers, so they feel bad about creating a business that is very self-fulfilling versus opening a nonprofit or doing something that has to do that's not really their lane, but they feel like they want to do something for the community, so they move forward with something. How do you define which avenue to go when you have a passion to want to help people, but that's not necessarily the business that you want to open?
I remember when I started my first business back in 2009, and I was explaining to a friend of mine what I was wanting to do, and he says, well, why don't you just make that a ministry? Because I don't want to make it a ministry. This is a business, and I want to make goo gobs of money.
Right.
Because guess what? When I make goo gobs of money, I can help more people.
Right.
And so whatever this disconnect that some of us have in our head around, if I'm doing good, then that means I have to be poor. I don't know where that came from, but it needs to stop.
Cut it out.
Well,
Stop it.
Cut it out.
The problem is when you see people that have become successful, and we'll use athletes. They're successful, they make all this money, and then they try to start a nonprofit because they need to hide their money somewhere else.
Need a tax write-off.
Right.
Yeah.
People, when you start your
tax
business, you trying to make money. It's okay to make money. It's not bad. Just don't, what is the right word don't use money as whatever. Don't get caught up loving the money.
Right.
Just
Right.
respect that the business, your passion carries you through. Your passion of your companies. When I'm around Domestic Diva Catering, I understand the passion. When I first met Shelley, I understood that was her passion, that was her love. When she's up, down, whatever, I know that she will always find a way to cook. She's going to cater for somebody, and she's going to brighten up someone's day. When I met you, I knew your passion. I knew what you brought to the table of, let's make this work. Let me identify what you need done, and I need to work you through. Everybody has their own passion, but you need to get paid for those passions.
Exactly.
Because
and
your
stop
value
asking
is
for
there.
the hookup from everybody.
Right.
Well,
You know what? It's funny because I have business cards and somebody says it doesn't say president or CEO. It doesn't say owner. It says sales marketing manager. They're like, why? I say because every time I hand my card to somebody and see I own something, they immediately ask, oh, so you can hook me up? No, shawty, I can't. I got kids. I got YMCA bills. I got cable. Oh, sorry.
yeah.
But but that's my passion. I love people. I love food. I love making people happy. So then I'm caught in this whole personal dilemma. Like, oh, I really want to, but man, I need to pay my car payment.
Right. Because if you're not getting paid doing this, then you got to go do something else.
Right.
And how many of you who still have, quote, real jobs will go in there and say, I just love what I'm doing so much. You don't have to give me my paycheck on Friday. It's cool. Come on, that's absurd.
Well,
So why is it that
Yeah.
you expect people running businesses to
Right.
always give you a hookup? Now, I'm a fan of bartering, especially if you're,
Absolutely.
in the beginning stages of your business, and we know money can be funny. So if you can find a way to meet a need that someone
Right.
else has in
See,
exchange
you
for that,
need.
that's great. That's great.
but the barter system is about the value.
Right.
So if I say, Shell, I need love over here, but I'm gonna give you love over here that's beneficial for both of us.
Right.
I don't want to ask for love and say I'll catch you back on Tuesday.
No.
That's just not what we're trying to do. One of the biggest things about coming on the Blue Wave Talk Show is to be able to show entrepreneurships and give the value out there, because I want you guys to write in, call in, talk to these ladies, talk to these people, and reach out to
Can
them.
I say something
Yes.
on that? The whole value thing goes back to the whole knowing your self-worth and your business worth. What is your product worth? What is your time worth? That you can barter all day long, but if you're at this part of the barter, you bartering Cristal for Budweiser, we're not all
Right.
happy. We're not
Right.
making it. And then at the end of the day, you're sitting there mad because you're like, how did this happen? I was trying to do something and it doesn't work. So knowing your value, I
Yeah.
think, is also.
If my service costs $25,000, don't offer me, a $200 logo in exchange. That's not an even barter, people. So we just got to be
You're borderline
realistic about
offensive.
what
You might get
Yeah.
punched in the face. I mean, it
we're at.
happens.
with that.
Again, she's a little feisty today, so it's all good. Listen, website.
IntrepidInc.com, and that's Intrepid with an E, like entrepreneur. So
With-
IntrepidInc.com.
Can you come back for the second segment?
I can.
Because I have
can.
so many more questions to ask. I want to get into more of the men, women, entrepreneur
Oh, there
kind
we
of
go.
situation.
Gotta poke this.
Just
Yeah,
a little
poke the
bit.
bear.
I'm not poking a bear. I'm just asking a question. I want to be able to ask a question that.
Yo, ask the question. Go ahead. Ask the question. Say it, yo. Say it.
Push the button. You're on with the Blue Wave Talk Show with your host, Duane Bluestein, Shelley Marie, Isha Cogborn. We'll be right with you.